Rockford's home for Classic Rocks 96.7 The Eagle. It's Double T. Special guest on the phone. Last time we talked, Jeff Glass was a member of the Rockford IceHogs, currently a member of the Chicago Blackhawks. Congratulations, Jeff. How's things going?
Oh, well, it's good to hear from you again. Everything's going good. It's been a fun ride. Been trying to enjoy it.
You get this opportunity, you have to enjoy it. So let's go back a little bit to let people know your story. You were drafted by the Ottawa Senators, spent a few years in their organization, and then you decided you were going to go over to Russia and play, correct?
So I played 4 years in the Senators organization, and then I went over to Russia for 7 more years.
You decided it was time to come back to North America?
Yeah, my agent thought it'd be a good idea to try to come back and give it one more try. I always wanted to do that, but I wasn't sure what it was exactly going to mean to come back or what it was going to actually take, to be honest. And he was pretty upfront that it was going to be a couple of years of probably trying to make a name for myself again. And so I signed a PTO with the Toronto Maple Leafs, which is a professional tryout. So the Maple Leafs brought me into training camp last year. Tried out with them. They reassigned me to the Marlies. And so I was with them on an American Hockey League PTO. And then from there, I moved along to Rockford.
At that point, we were struggling in goal, so we were very happy to have you here. I know that.
It was welcomed on both sides because I wasn't playing in Toronto and I needed a place to play, so it worked out for everybody. It was a good situation for myself as well. I got to Rockford on an American Hockey League contract right after Christmas time last year, and then about a month after that, maybe a month and a half, the Blackhawks actually offered me an NHL contract for 2 years. So that was kind of the exciting part for me there because I now had the ability to get called up by the Blackhawks because I was under an NHL contract. So last season I actually was able to I got called up once when Scott Darling broke his finger, and then at the playoffs for the playoff run I was the third goalie. So that was exciting, and I knew coming back to training camp this year that I'd be in the mix again, and I could start by going to the Chicago Blackhawks training camp.
You get this opportunity to go up to Chicago, but in the world of goaltenders, if you get called up, it doesn't mean you're actually going to play because one plays at a time and there's only 2 of you on the roster.
I wasn't sure what to expect when I got called up this time. It was kind of funny. I was in Calgary, which is like western part of Canada, and flew back home from our Christmas break to Rockford. So I landed in Chicago, my phone rang. Nope, you're going to play in Vancouver. You're joining the Blackhawks. So back on a plane the next day to fly all the way back out west again and to join the team in Vancouver. And when I got there, I was actually able to speak with Coach Q, and he told me, I wasn't just here for a cup of coffee this time and to be ready. And I kind of knew I was going to get a chance, but you never do know. I think you're right with goaltending. It's kind of it tends to be a position if one guy gets hot or one guy's playing well in the net, it usually doesn't get out. So I wasn't exactly sure what to expect.
And when you get called up and Corey Crawford's up there playing, that guy doesn't take too many breaks. If you get called up to back him up, you may get an opportunity, but it's probably few and far between.
So exactly, and that's what happened to me last season was I got called up. I was up for 6 games. We even had a back-to-back game, which in the NHL they tend never to play a goalie back-to-back nights. Lots of stats prove it's not a good idea, but Crawford was on such a hot streak last year, they played him right through the back-to-back, and that's how that goes. And so you're right, with it being Crawford injured, it was kind of opened the door a little bit more for me, and gave me a chance this year to get in and kind of play a couple games.
I'm talking to Jeff Glass, the goaltender for the Chicago Blackhawks. Does Q come to you and say, hey, you're going to start tonight?
So it was actually the goalie coach, Jimmy Waite, who let me know. We played in Vancouver. We flew right to Edmonton after the game, and we got in pretty late. It was early in the morning hours, and Jimmy let me know before I went up to my room in the hotel that I'd be playing that night in Edmonton. So that was obviously pretty exciting, trying to get some sleep, but knowing you're going to play your first NHL game later that night is it's quite the thrill.
First call you make?
It was funny because it was probably 2 or 3 in the morning, so I actually messaged my wife because I knew she'd be up feeding with our 2-month-old. So I messaged her, and then I waited till the morning to call everybody else because it was crazy hours of the morning. But I messaged my wife and then my family, and Edmonton again. It was so convenient. It was only a couple-hour drive from my hometown. So a lot of my family and friends were able to drive up for the game, and I kind of started to let them all know that if they could get in the car, it was something crazy like minus 35 degrees Celsius. If bear it through for 3 hours, they could come up to Edmonton and watch me play.
What was the feeling? This is something you've wanted your entire life, and you're finally going to get it.
Yeah, it was overwhelming. Try not to let it sink in too much and really think about it too much or overanalyze what's going on. You just try to enjoy it a little bit, but more importantly, kind of go out and prove yourself. I have had a job to do. I'm excited about the opportunity, but I'm more excited to prove myself and prove that I can play at this level and stay at this level if I continue to play well. So I was very happy for the opportunity. A lot of emotions, obviously, but at the same time, it was still something I wanted to achieve and do well at when I got there. So it was kind of game on, time to focus and kind of do what I do.
Do you remember any of the game?
I remember parts of it for sure. You know what? It was. I told a few people after the game. It was nice. I got kind of bombarded with shots in the first period, which was some people. How'd you get through it? I said that was the best thing that could have happened because if I would have had to sit there for a whole period and think about it, not getting any shots or touch the puck, that would have been tough. But they kind of came at us hard in the first period, and after that first period, I knew, well, I could play at this level now after having a period like that. So that was probably the best part of the game, was being able to, see other top players come down. I think I got to stop Connor McDavid was my first shot on goal, and Leon Draisaitl had a breakaway, and things like that made you feel like, all right, I can play at this level. Do
you remember the moment, okay, I can do this, and you really kind of settled in?
There was probably, I keep remembering sometime in the first intermission is when I finally sat back and said, oof, okay. But probably not before that. And that first period was a little bit of a blur, only because you were just, again, trying to hang on and trying to enjoy it. But it was a pretty good atmosphere in that building. There was a lot going on. So sometime in the first intermission, I kind of probably sat back and said, all right, this is pretty cool, but I think I belong here as well.
I'm talking to Jeff Glass, the goaltender for the Chicago Blackhawks. What was it like when you walked into that locker room? Is it just hockey and they're just another player, or is there a little intimidation factor there?
This dressing room's been unbelievable to me, and I really do mean that. From the older guys, the younger guys, especially the veteran guys that have won the cups, and they are big deals, and they're big dogs in that dressing room, and they've reached out to me, and they've all been so good to me. I knew a few of them going into it, so that helped a little bit, but the guys I didn't know, I've got to know, and they've been unbelievable to me. It's just really welcoming, really making me feel at home, like I'm a part of the team, and that's really helped, to be honest. A lot of the reason why I've been able to have some success here is because you can get past the starstruck thing and realize that they're awesome guys, obviously great hockey players, and they know how to win. So I feel like I do my part, they do their part, which is obviously more than you could expect, and we're going to win hockey games because they know what to do, and they know the intangibles that maybe some other teams don't have. So it's been a lot of fun to play with these guys, learn from these guys, and every day it's pretty special heading into that room.
Obviously, there's some differences between playing with the Blackhawks and the IceHogs. You're flying places and you're staying in really nice hotels. Is there anything different about your game day preparation, or is it kind of like the same thing? It doesn't matter where you're playing.
Yeah, no, that part of my game is the exact same. It's like you said, there's different things off the ice, but once the puck's dropped, it's still hockey. And I keep telling people that, reminding them that, although it's my first year in the NHL, I've been playing hockey for a long time, and it is a different speed. It's much faster in the NHL. But with that being said, it's still a matter of stopping the puck, keeping the puck out of the net, and you really have to remember that. So my routine when I get to the rink is almost identical. When I step on the ice, everything's almost exactly the same. So not much has changed on that front. It's just a matter of kind of adapting to the speed and the pace of play.
I feel like I'm part of this. You came on the show in the beginning of the year, and we prepared you for all the Chicago media attention that you're getting right now. Jeff Glass Mania is going wild.
Well, it is. It was 100% the Double T show that got me ready for all this. So I mean, it's been a lot of fun. It's exciting to probably do this on any team, and then to do this in Chicago is extra special just because of the way that people treat hockey in Chicago, the way people view the team here, the passion that goes into the team and around the city. It's pretty cool, and so that part is extra special for me because I know that I could have done this probably lots of places in the NHL and not got the attention or whatever you want to call it that I'm getting right now. So that doesn't go forgotten, that Chicago's a passionate hockey city, and I'm kind of getting to do this here.
You know what's really cool is all the fans here in Rockford, we're all rooting for you and hoping for the best. Corey Crawford, he might be out for a while. More opportunities for you to showcase what you can do.
Yeah, and most importantly, I really appreciate all the support for everybody in Rockford and everybody. I've had so many messages and people reach out to me from Rockford. Let me know that they're happy for me and they're following along, and that, you know, it's been a fun ride kind of for everybody. But like you said, you know, nobody really knows what's going on with Corey right now, and we all wish him the best. We all hope he can get back. He's such a good guy and a good goalie, and that we're all hoping for him. So in the meantime, I'm going to continue to do what I do and try to go out there and help this team win and help them any way I can.
It's something special to be able to turn on a game and watch you play, because you've been in here with me and you still take the time to talk to me, and I really appreciate that.
No, you know what? It's been lots of fun, and nothing's changed. I'm still here. I don't know if we can quite do all the Tuesdays. We got way too many Tuesday games with the Blackhawks, but it's still fun. It's so much fun to keep in touch with all of the people you've met along the way and all the friends you've made, and none of that changes. So it's been really cool for me too, and I'm trying to enjoy it.
I got to make sure I get into a game to watch you live, because it's one thing to watch it on TV, but in person is the way to go, man.
Absolutely. I got to have you down for a game, because when you hear that Chelsea Dagger song in person, it's something special. So we'll have to set that up.
Thanks for taking the time, and don't take offense to this, but I hope you don't come back.
No offense taken. Thanks for the time. Thanks for doing this. This was fun.
Jeff Glass from the Chicago Blackhawks. It's Rockford's home for classic rock. It's 96.7 The Eagle.